Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. Thanks for joining. Another bit of quick news for you. Coming out of Russia and the war with Ukraine. Of course, they've been at war for over a year now because, for no real reason and no provocation, um, Vladimir Putin decided he would invade the Ukrainians. And for some reason, he was under the belief, and he had told his military, they were under the belief that the people in Ukraine would just give up and say, okay, we're Russian now. As if that makes any sense, right? Well, now Vladimir Putin and the Russians are accusing Ukraine of trying to assassinate Vladimir Putin via drone. As you see in the picture here, this is a still shot from a video of a drone that hit this building in Russia. Now, first off, Ukraine denies that this is them, and Russia has been known to do false flag attacks on themselves in the past. And they were trying to do things like that in the lead up to the war, trying to convince people that Ukraine was attacking them first. Just not true, right? It's just not happening. It's not the facts on the ground. Um, but here's the deal: if it was Ukraine, it probably isn't. But if it was Ukraine, what's the problem? Vladimir's okay with trying to kill the people and the leader and all the leaders of Ukraine, but it's not okay when the table gets turned on them. Even though this probably isn't something Ukraine did, because they don't really have the ability to get that far in without being noticed. Would you think that's kind of weird that they would have capabilities that the Ukrainians who are begging us for help would have the technology to send a drone into Russia that Russia could not see? Doesn't make a lot of sense. But even if they had, say we gave them one of a stealth style drone, which we can't rule out, but it's not likely that they would have gotten it that far into Russia. But two, how is it that Russia can sit here and complain that they are under attack by the very nation that they invaded? Does that make any sense? The answer is no. As I see it, the Ukrainians are well within their right to unleash any bit of bombing and firepower they want against the Russians at this point, because the Russians, for no provocation, invaded their country. This invasion here is just as asinine and ridiculous as the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003. And hell, the invasion that we did in 1991, that wasn't any better. Because sure, Iraq had invaded Kuwait, who was giving us oil. Okay, you get Iraq out of Kuwait and you stop. But no, we kept going. We didn't go far enough, according to some people. But at least 91 had more of a reason. They had just invaded somebody. And we went to protect our oil. But Russia here, they had no provocation to invade Ukraine. I don't care what their problems with NATO was, or it has been. I don't care what Vladimir Putin thinks. Mikhail Gorbachev, the one who signed the treaty with NATO, right? The one who signed the agreement, said the things that Vladimir Putin are claiming was in the original agreement were never there. That there was no promise from NATO not to pick up more members in Europe, across Eastern Europe. His argument has been that NATO broke their agreement to not to pick up any new members past Germany. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. The man who signed signed the treaty, says it never happened. Therefore, Vladimir Putin is lying and is wrong. He's been lying to his people. I wouldn't be surprised if this attack came from his own people, because his own people are fed up with his bullshit. They are fed up with the fact that their husbands and fathers and sons are out there getting murdered every day in a war that they didn't want. The Russian people were lied to about how the war started, no different than how the American people were lied to in 2003. Showing all sorts of provocation, just like we lied about as a nation in 2003. Russia is doing the same exact thing. The thing is, here, we could see it in real time. We could see the lies in real time. And now he wants to cry because they're attacking him? What a crybaby. Wah! Cry me a river, dude. You started a war. Now, somebody may have brought the war to your doorstep. And you know what? They're well within their rights to do so. Would it not make good military sense to try to get a drone or a bombing deep into Russia? To test their readiness in that position? I'm no military guy here, but I'm assuming you would want to do that at some point. Especially if you're trying to make an offensive. To take back parts of your nation. If you have them worried about their nation and their capital, maybe they'll lay off of yours a little bit. Because they'll have to look back and make sure they're protected at home. I'm so fed up with this propaganda BS from all sorts of crazy fascist sons of bitches that make no sense. And then they try to blame everyone else around them. Vladimir Putin is no different than a narcissist. He commits all these atrocities and then blames everybody else for them. And I'm so sick of those people keep seeing on Twitter saying, we need to stop the war in Ukraine. Well, yeah, we do. Then there's only one solution to ending that war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin turns around and goes home. That is the only solution. I refuse to believe that the solution is to tell the people of Ukraine to just turn around and kiss Vladimir Putin's ass. Now, if this is Ukraine, good for them. If it's not Ukraine and it's somebody else within Russia, good for them. And if it's Russia just trying to pull another one of their false flag operations, screw them. This is absolutely getting ridiculous. And the world community just stands by and isn't doing jack diddly squat to help. These people, the Ukrainians are suffering. And Vladimir Putin wants to make it all about him. Because, oh, poor baby is under attack. Well, maybe, son of a bitch, maybe you shouldn't have attacked him. Anyways, y'all have a great day. I'll see you down the road. Screw Vladimir Putin and the Russians. And I hope this happens more and more. Thank you.